Hi, welcome to episode 38 of the New England Gal-Knits podcast. I am Janet and I live in central Massachusetts with my husband, our two boys, our cat, and our dog. I have already tried restarting this video a couple different times. If it isn't the herd of wild animals upstairs, aka two teenage boys running around, I love my children, but I don't understand when you play a video game, and maybe because, back in the old days when I grew up, when we played a video game, everything was wired. We had to sit close to the console to be able to play, and we couldn't move. Now I think with the wireless controllers, I think when my older son plays a soccer game, he basically is running around like he's playing an actual soccer game. So, if you hear the noise upstairs, that is what it is. It's July 22nd, 2020, so we're still kind of staying at home with the coronavirus, being safe. So we're all kind of stuck at home right now. So, it is what it is. I've got two teenage boys. We are managing. We have not killed each other yet. Time will tell on that, but we haven't yet. Then I restarted, and one of the boys must have been playing the piano downstairs and didn't put the cover over the keys. The cat jumped on the piano, completely freaked herself out, so had to stop, put the cover down, tried restarting a couple times. She was meowing because obviously she just almost had a heart attack, was not expecting that noise. So I think she settled. So I think between the two boys, the dog barking, and the cat meowing, if you watch this, if you continue and make it through the whole thing, thank you so much for staying with me. And then on top of that, my hair is damp. I'm in workout clothes and a sports bra. I did put makeup on for you guys. Last time I put makeup on was my last podcast, and then the time before that, you know what, I can't remember. It might have been my birthday. I know we went out. My husband surprised me with a trip to Newport, Rhode Island, to our favorite restaurant when they started doing the outdoor seating. And I didn't even put makeup on for that because you have to wear a mask, which is great. That's the one good thing here in Massachusetts and Rhode Island and New York. They're requiring the masks, which is good. It protects you, it protects other people. It is well worth it. But I'm like, why bother putting makeup on? It's just going to rub off on my mask. So I did put makeup on for you guys. But I've got the t-shirt on. It has been 90 degrees and hot and sticky and gross. Boston hit a record on the heat wave this past week, and I know there are people that are living in Texas, and I am so sorry. I don't know how you guys do it, although I was talking to one of my coworkers in Texas who was complaining about the heat and humidity, but she said she just has to put up for it for 2 months, and then the weather's perfect the rest of the year. So, and she doesn't have to deal with snow, which she lived up in New Hampshire before and hated the snow. So, anyways, it's hot and sticky, so I've got a t-shirt on, and that's what I'm going with. So, I don't have any finished objects, but I kind of have got 4 works in progress that I'm working on, and I've made decent progress on all of them. So my first work in progress is actually a half-finished object, a hoe. So here is the first sock, and this is a plain vanilla sock. This is knit out of my yarn WoolenLights in the Flowering Meadow colorway, and this is on a merino yak nylon base. My vanilla sock pattern, I'm just going to throw the numbers out because when I get to the other vanilla sock, I can tell you how much I messed up on the numbers. So I always knit my vanilla socks 64 stitches on a US 1 2.25 millimeter needle. So, and I did the fish lips kiss heel on this. So this is my the first sock for this. Now the second sock I had talked about last week that I knit on this when we watched The Office at night with the boys. I have not gotten too much done. Things have been super crazy. My husband's still traveling in and out of Boston for work. He does work at a university in the housing department, which you can imagine right now what a mess that is. So he's unfortunately been working overtime. So we haven't watched too much of The Office together. So this is all I have of the second sock right now. And I remember to put in a progress keeper for when for next week. So hopefully I will have made some more progress and things start slowing down a little bit for him and we can get back to watching The Office and I can get my work done on this. So that is my first work in progress. My second one is the socks I'm working on every morning when I drink my coffee. And I had said last week I had finished the morning coffee socks by Kay Litton of the Crazy Sock Lady. So my new socks that I just cast on are Tracie Millar from the Grocery Girl, her Coffee Talk socks. And here is what I have so far. And if you're wondering, I have way too many ends here. I've been spending a lot of time downstairs sewing, and my dog does not like it. So I had left this out on my ottoman, and the dog chewed through the yarn to tell me what he thought of me being downstairs all the time. So now I know I need to put my knitting away before I come downstairs. So he must know how much I hate to weave in ends. And it was, touche Lego, touche. It was the perfect plan to annoy me. So, anyways, here is what I have so far of the sock. And this is being knit out of a Voolenvine in her footsie base, which is her 80/20 BFL nylon base. And this is in the Feyre, I think is how you say it, colorway. I have to say, so sometimes I worry about variegated yarns or speckled yarns, and if sometimes a yarn can be too busy that it just takes away from a pattern. I think this is the perfect complement. This is the perfect yarn in the perfect pattern. I'm loving the way these are looking right now. So I'm very pleased with these, and again, these are every morning when I drink my coffee is what I am working on. And here's the yarn all caked up. I love these colors. So, and this will be the perfect fall sock when it's not 90 something degrees out and we're sweating our butts off over here. And I thought I'd share all of these sock whips are being right now housed in my bag here. I find because I'm not going anywhere, I just throw everything all in one bag because it really doesn't leave my living room. I just need somewhere to hide it from the dog. So my last sock work in progress is just another vanilla sock, and this is, I'm knitting it out of Knit Picks Felici in the Toucan colorway. And here is my progress on that. I was on the leg last week, so I've managed through the heel and I am working on the foot. Now, advice for those of you who, like me, may be counting in paired. Do not cast on in a car when you're talking to your husband and your car is sick and you cannot concentrate on counting. So typically 64 stitches. I thought I had 64 stitches. I even, you know, when I cast on, here's the beginning of the round, when I cast on 32, I put a marker in there so I could keep the front and the back taken care of. So I thought there was 32 here. There's not. There's 36 stitches in one half and 32 in the other. So when I went to do my fish lips kiss heel, I realized I was all messed up. So I fudged the heel because I wasn't ripping back. It wasn't until I was basically at this part of the heel that I realized, which was like the end of the first half of the heel, when I realized the stitches were off and I was not ripping back. So I fudged it, I wrote it down so that the second sock, hopefully the numbers will match. But even though there's 4 extra stitches on here, I don't think it's going to be that loose on me anyways. I think I'm still going to have some negative ease, so I'm not worried about it. Worst case scenario, if I feel it is going to be too wide for me, my younger son loves socks, which I've stopped knitting him because he's a size 11.5 foot now, and it's a lot of knitting. So, and on top of that, he's very rough on his socks, and they wear out very quickly, like a Felici. I would not knit him socks in Felici on purpose. I think the Patterns Croy has held up the best for him. So if you're looking for a really good hard-wearing sock yarn, I love Patterns Croy, especially for kids. So that is where I am with that. I love this acid yellow on here. So that is it for my socks. Like I said, I think I'm pretty impressed with the progress I have made so far on those in just a week. And my last work in project is my sweater, and I'm keeping it in my little bucket that I had made. So I felt bad watching the video back. Do I have the picture somewhere? I realized that the picture was really, really unfocused, so you couldn't quite see it well. I'm hoping this is coming in focused. If not, I will insert a picture here, but this is the Rockpool sweater by Lily Kate France. And I have on this finished the body of the sweater, and I also picked up and finished the neckline. And let's talk my counting issues. So, picked up for the neckline, 2x2 rib. Does anyone do this? When they knit that first round, they are so afraid that they've miscounted and it's not going to end with on the stitches it's supposed to. I get done the first round, I end with the 2 purls. I am so excited. I'm like, I counted correctly. I was so excited. Then I went to the second round, and then I realized, let's see if I can. So you can't really tell too badly, but I write in here, purled 4 stitches rather than 2. So I ended up just purling 2 together and calling it a day because I'm not a fan of picking up stitches. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of picking up stitches. So, anyways, I have the body done. I'm gonna hold this up. I'm hoping you can see. I love that detail at the ribbing with it looks like a lateral braid, but it is not. And because it's a paid for pattern, I don't want to share too much. But anyways, I love this little detail. And I have picked up for the first sleeve, and it has, this is hard to tell because it's turning in, but it has a very similar detail there as well. This is flying off the needles. I tried it on, so there is body shaping in this. I don't normally do any shaping on my sweaters. I knit straight down. I have what they call an athletic build where I have no waist. I'm just completely straight. I have no hips. My pants, even with a belt, fall right off because there's nothing to hold them up. And it's funny because My father has the same issue. So I said to my husband at one point, I said, is it nice to know that your wife and your father-in-law have the same body type? So I don't normally do shaping. Anyways, I did the shaping. This is there's supposed to be a lot of positive ease with this. And then it kind of bunches out so it's like blousey, and this kind of hugs what would be my waist if I had one. And it actually looks very good, that blouse to it. I tried describing this to my brother, this sweater, and he just was not getting it. I was not describing it well. It wasn't that he wasn't getting it. I was not describing it well. And when I showed him the pictures, he's like, oh, that makes complete sense now. But I think with all of the puffiness and then kind of cinching in at what would be my waist, it just gives me that shape, which I love. And I am now working on the lace sleeves. So hopefully I'll have a sleeve completely done by the time I podcast next. And hopefully this comes in. I love the sleeves on this. I think that's what sold me on knitting this sweater. I love the lace pattern. I love the puffy sleeve. How it cinches in at the wrist. I can't wait to get this done. Not that I have anywhere to wear it once it is done. I've gone nowhere, and I've gone nowhere, but then at the same time, when I have gone somewhere, I'm wearing sweats and no makeup. And typically my hair's in a ponytail. It's damp. It's still damp right now. It's so hot and humid. I don't have it in me to blow dry my hair. And then I showered at 6 this morning, and it is now 12:15, and it is still damp, is how humid it is here right now. So anyways, and then I have one more knitting thing I want to share with you. I don't know what I did. Now, I have to say, when I knit, when I knit socks, I tend to knit the fish lips kiss heel, only because to me it takes me 30 minutes, it's done, I have it memorized, it's super easy. However, I've been trying to do a lot of heel flaps and gussets because I do think they fit me better. Not that the fish lips kiss heel fits me horribly, I just feel like the instep is just a little bit better with the heel flap and gusset. So, I have been working on, I have a picture somewhere, here we go, the Mermaid Avenue socks, and this is by Summer Lee Designs. Was knitting it. I will pick this up eventually, but I'm knitting this in the Miami Fiber Company yarn, her 75-25 base, in her Flamingo Beach colorway. So, and I am doing these on 9-inch circulars. So here is the leg and the heel flap, and well, just the heel flap at this point on the first sock. The second sock, I stopped knitting it because I don't know what I did. So, I started on the gusset. I picked up my stitches here. Perfect! I obviously did not pick up my stitches correctly on here. I'm 4 rows in, and all of a sudden the stitches came undone. I have no idea what I did, so I have to figure out the easiest way to pull this out, and I don't know whether I'm best off pulling it out to where I started the heel flap. I have to, you know, the texture pattern, I have to go back 4 rows. I just need to take the time and pull it out. I do love these socks. These were knitting up so fast. I love the pattern. I'm enjoying them, and the only reason I stopped was because I managed, I don't know how well you can see that, but look at it, just all came apart. It isn't my first heel flap and gusset. I've probably knit 6 pairs of socks with a heel flap and gusset, so it isn't like it's new to me. I just prefer the fish lips kiss heel, so I don't know what I did. So I figured if I showed you guys these, it would hold me accountable to have it fixed for next week. Will you guys hold me to that? So, oh, that's my boo-boo. My boo-boo for the day. I'm sure there'll be more than just one, so that is all of my knitting content. I do have a quilt that I am working on, so let me share that with you. So I am working on, this is the French Quarter quilt, and this is out of the Jelly Roll Jambalaya quilt book. I don't know where I got it. I tried looking it up. It was published in 2014. I wasn't quilting in 2014. I stopped quilting 2005 when I had my first son, and that's, you know what, sewing and being away when you have a child, it's difficult. So I kind of stopped quilting in 2005. So I'm not quite sure how I got this book, where it came from, but these are all books for jelly rolls. So I had purchased a jelly roll pack of Tula Pink's handmade series. So I have these in a specific order. I have them all over there, but it's basically 4.5 inch squares, and then you rearrange them to make the pattern. And I'm going to, I have a design wall I use, but it hangs over a closet, so I can't keep it up all the time because it's a closet we use. So I basically laid the quilt out on the design wall, took a picture of it, took everything off in a specific order. I have it all laid out, so hopefully it doesn't get messed up. So I'll throw the picture in of the quilt here. So I'm hoping to start sewing up some of those rows. Maybe today, because I have the day off, I can get that taken care of. And that's kind of been it for my quilting. I did pick up some more material. So I picked up from the Fat Quarter Shop. This is a Jolly Bar, and this is in the, is a Catalina prints. So, and then I picked up some white fabric as well. This is going to be a table runner. I don't know, look at me, I'm going to take it apart so I can show it to you here. I honestly don't know what pattern I'm going to use, so if anybody has any recommendations, let me know. But let me just show you. I love these colors. They're nice, and this one I think is my favorite, but they're nice bright colors. I think they'll be perfect for, oh, look at this one. So they're all different. I think there's 42 blocks, and I think they're 5 by 3 inch. So they're all different patterns here. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I know it is going to be a table runner for my dining room table. So more to come on that. Now that I crinkled and I threw stuff on the floor for me to pick up, and I know anyone who podcasts knows how messy things get. So that is it for the quilting. And I that's about it. I did a ton of chit-chatting in between, and to be honest with you, we're all at home. There's not a whole lot going on. We're not going anywhere. We're not really doing anything. You know, our excitement is going to the grocery store every week, which isn't that exciting at this point. Yeah, I've been catching up on podcasts. A fairly new podcast that I just discovered was Needles at the Ready, and it's Kevin and Ray, and they're from Connecticut. I love them. I love their interactions. They are like the type of people, when this is all over, I want to get together. I want to have a drink with them and laugh. I really, really love their podcast, and check it out. And it's great because as a mom of 2 boys, and my brother's a knitter, that it's nice to see what the guys are knitting and what, you know, patterns they're using that I could use for the boys or recommend to my brother. I'm really, really enjoying their podcast. And then we've been watching The Flash, so Ryan and I have been catching up and watching The Flash and really enjoying that. And that's about it. I know I've heard a lot about the new not Mason Perry. Is it Mason Perry? Was the old 70s, 80s mystery show. I'm going to put it here because I'm going to have to look it up, but HBO, at least I think it's HBO. Again, I'm talking about things I don't know about. Anyways, I've heard that show is really good, so I do want to start watching it. It's not appropriate for kids, and my kids stay up later than I do, so I don't know when I'm going to watch it. I'm going to have to watch it on my iPad with headphones in, but I do want to watch that. But yeah, I mean, other than watching TV and knitting, and sewing, there's not a whole lot else going on here. So I think I'm going to leave it here, and I will see you guys next week, and I hope you guys have a great week ahead and happy knitting. Bye!